Have you ever stressed so much about how something will turn out that you start to doubt yourself and question if you're even capable at all? This is the trap that so many people fall into, which is what keeps them stuck, unable to move forward in life. After years of studying psychology, reflecting on my own struggles, and even learning lessons from Dragon Ball Z, I've discovered a simple step-by-step process that makes letting go of an outcome feel as easy as pressing a button. So in this video, I'm gonna show you that process and how letting go will change your life so fast it feels unreal. To start, I'm gonna show you the first and easiest step to detachment that can make your goals feel lighter and your mind clear. Do you ever get stuck and start thinking whether or not you're good enough? That's exactly what happens to me whenever I'm working on a YouTube video or writing a script. I tend to get so caught up in my head and questioning if it will actually help people in the way that I want it to. That pressure and doubt leads me to a never-ending loop and I'm rewriting the same lines over and over again, chasing some sort of idea of perfection. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand why I did this. That confusion pushed me to start searching for a solution because I was tired of repeating the same cycle. After some reflection, I realized that the best way to handle it was to take a more intentional approach. I started paying attention to where my mind would wander while I was working on these videos. But that's when it hit me. The entire time I was working, all I could think about was how it would turn out. I was so attached to the outcome that it ruined my ability to focus in the moment. But that moment of awareness is what started the process that helped me to begin to detach. Because if you're not aware of your own thoughts and feelings, it becomes nearly impossible to detach and even harder to move forward in life or on your goals. So how can you become more aware of yourself? Well, next, I'll show you a simple way to start the process of detachment so you can make your goals feel lighter and have a clearer mind. To become more aware, you simply need to observe your thoughts and notice what's happening to you internally. Start by asking yourself one simple question. What do I expect to happen out of this situation? You'll usually find the answer comes pretty quickly, whether you're expecting something positive like praise or success, or something negative like criticism or failure. Then pay attention to how your body and mind responds to that answer. How do you feel when you think about that outcome? You might feel tense, anxious, or even uncertain. By identifying those thoughts and feelings, you uncover the outcome that you're attached to and how it shows up in your body and why it matters to you. Once you understand that, detachment becomes easier because you know exactly what's happening to you and why. But now that you're aware of that outcome that you're attached to, let me show you the next step of detachment, which will allow you to easily release your doubt and finally move forward with clarity. In Dragon Ball Z, during the Cell Saga, Gohan was chosen to fight Cell. Even though he was strong enough to win, Gohan didn't want to fight. He wasn't a fighter like his father, and he didn't want to kill anyone. So he tried to reason with Cell, warning him that if he pushed him too far, his anger might take over. But Cell didn't care. He kept attacking Gohan and his friends, doing everything he could to force Gohan to snap. This continued until Android 16 spoke to Gohan. Android 16 told Gohan that it was okay to fight for good and that sometimes words alone aren't enough. His words helped shift Gohan's perspective on fighting and the situation, allowing him to let go and focus on what needed to be done in the moment. Sometimes when we get attached to the outcome of a situation, it's because of the meanings and beliefs we've tied to it, especially when we think it says something about us or our abilities. What Gohan experienced with Android 16 in that moment is exactly what many of us need to do in our own minds when we're trying to detach, a shift in perspective. This shift in perspective is the core of detachment and is the process called cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing is the practice of intentionally shifting your perspective on a situation, memory, or even a person. It's a shift we need to make with our own thoughts and feelings when we've attached to an outcome. Next, I'm gonna show you the next step in the process of detachment so you can release all the doubt and move forward with clarity. In order to cognitively reframe, you must start by questioning your current perspective and replace it with a more grounded one. Start by taking the thoughts and feelings that you've identified in the first step and begin to challenge them. Ask yourself, What evidence do I have that this thought is actually true? Is there another way that I can look at this situation? By asking these questions, you realize that the fear of the outcome is fueled by the thoughts and doubts that cloud your mind. You'll be able to see that it's creating anxiety for something that you think may happen. Next, you want to ground your new perspective by reminding yourself of two truths. One, no matter what happens, you are capable of moving forward despite of it. And two, your self-worth is not defined by the outcome. Even if you fail, even if some things you feared might actually happen, it says nothing about you or your character. Being able to reframe allows you to detach from the outcome and continue to move forward in life. And next, I'll show you the final and most powerful step in detachment that can quickly change your life. Future Trunks is a character whose entire future was destroyed by the androids, leaving his world completely ransacked and turned into a wasteland. In an effort to change that, he traveled to the past, hoping to prevent the future from becoming as bad as his own. But just like Trunks couldn't change his own timeline by focusing on the past, we can't change the outcome of a situation the more we obsess over it. Instead, we must focus on what we're doing right now in order to affect the outcome. If you want to fully detach from the outcome, you have to take the same energy you waste worrying about the future and redirect it to what you're currently doing. And next, I'll show you how to do that exactly so you can change your life quickly and become detached from the outcome. In order to focus on what you're currently doing, you have to understand and practice mindfulness, which is the ability to stay present and fully engaged in the moment that you're in. To practice mindfulness, you must do two things. First, you want to draw your attention to the present and ask yourself, what am I currently doing right now? How do I feel? This will help pull you in the moment and stop you from worrying so much. And then next, you want to use that awareness and use it to guide your actions. Direct your focus to the small steps that you're taking today to create the life that you want. The future you are so worried about is shaped entirely by the actions you take in the present. If you only focus on what you're currently doing in the moment, whatever happens in the future becomes irrelevant because you know you gave your full effort to what truly mattered. And this will stop your doubt dead in its tracks. Now that you've learned how powerful letting go can be, you must still address the hidden enemy that's holding you back from the opportunities and your dreams, your self-doubt. So click the video on your screen now to learn how to stop it from costing you your life.